What up, VC? Kieran here. Most of you know me. If you don't, if you're new to the channel, welcome. Needle Groove, the YouTube channel, where we talk vinyl. Mostly jazz, and a bunch of other stuff too. Funk, soul, rock, whatever I find. Lots of new records to share. As I said in my last video, catching up. First off, I want to give a shout out to someone who's new to the YouTube vinyl community, not in terms of commenting, someone who always comments on my videos and I've been in touch with through Instagram and stuff, and that's Rigo Hernandez. He recently started making videos, jumped on Fred's 1970s thread, made a few of those. So just, I'll post a link to his channel down in the description, so be sure to go check it out. Rigo, thank you very much for always commenting, love the interaction, and you have great taste in music. We definitely vibe on the funk and soul together. A couple other things before I get into the records. Got this as a gift, actually, belated birthday gift. Had it for a month or so, or keep forgetting to show it, but this is a cork slip mat. So it looks cool, good weight. Don't really know, it's supposedly good for sound, but I'm curious if anyone has experimented with these and what they thought. So yeah, I've been using it. I think it looks pretty cool. So that was a nice gift. And the other change here in this room is this bad boy that I picked up. So I finally got myself a proper amp. I've been using this old Denon kind of stereo phono receiver, but not exactly what I wanted. So when I found this, which I'm pretty excited about, it's a Marantz 1250. It looks beautiful and it sounds damn good. So very, very happy with that addition to the setup here. Definitely been enjoying listening to records since I got that just over a week ago. Huge difference in sound, quality of sound, and just really powerful as well. I know, I don't know, if you have comments or questions or anything to say about it, let me know. I'd love to chat. I'm not an audio expert by any means. I usually refer to my buddy Paul Baraka P-Dub when it comes to that stuff. But yeah, so that's that. 2 phono inputs actually. Not really going to play around with adjusting those too much, but sounds great as is. Okay, so let's get into the records. Some of these are more recent, some I've had for a while. I may have shown some of these already because, mixing all over the place, all over the floor here in my record room, which stuff goes from one pile to another, but I've been slowly getting a better system and getting stuff filed away, reorganizing around here. Recently split up, pulled out a few genres from my jazz collection, a few labels from my jazz collection, so that those are separate. Normally it's organized just alphabetically by last name, but I pulled out India Navigation, Strata East, Muse, ECM, and not all my blue notes, but a lot of the blue notes. So I'm just seeing how I like that, because I go by maybe, I feel like listening to a record, from this record label. Often record labels have a certain vibe to it. I know the blue notes kind of split big time with the earlier hard bop stuff, and then moves into funky stuff later in the 60s, 70s. Anyway, let's get into the records. Speaking of blue note, picked up this. This was one of those, like the last Charles Davis record I got, never made it to the floor at the store. Got a photo text from my buddy who works at the record store. No one other employees had ever seen it, had even seen it come through the store yet. Put it on hold for me, grabbed it. So really happy about this. Cecil Taylor Conquistador. This has Bill Dixon, Jimmy Lyons, Cecil Taylor, Henry Grimes, Alan Silva, and Andrew Sorrell. So killer lineup, free jazz, heavy record, really good. And this is not an original, which I'm kind of thankful for in the sense that it wasn't too expensive, but it's in perfect shape. It's a 72 United Artists pressing, but in great shape. So really happy to add that. Didn't know the music. Had heard about it, heard great things, but didn't know it. This one I'm actually going to do a needle drop on. I don't really feel like doing a ton of needle drops in the sense of changing the record. Just will take too long with the amount of records I need to show. But this is Rasputin's Stash. This is from the early 70s on Cotillion, which I guess was a subsidiary of Atlantic, I'm guessing, based on you know, the SD catalog numbering and just the graphic design, the font. So anyway, this is Rasputin Stash. This is some really good psychedelic, funky soul. Anyway, put that up there, check it out. Rasputin Stash, I dig it. Okay, picked up this. This is a Classic Records pressing of Midnight Blue by Kenny Burrell. There's actually an original of this at the record store a few months back that I almost bought. It was 50 bucks, which is cheap for this record, but it wasn't in great shape, and the next time I hesitated, next time I went back it was gone. Anyway, I got this for cheaper than that, and it's in great shape, and it sounds great because it's a Classic Records pressing. And the reason why I kind of hesitated on this one with the original is that it is a very quiet record, and you know, you're gonna hear the surface noise all the time, if there is, and it's such a beautiful recording that I wanted, you know, the clean sound really. It's a recording that deserves that clean, crisp sound because of Kenny Burrell's guitar playing. Love it. Anyway, if you don't know this record, it's definitely a great introductory jazz record if you're just getting into jazz. Really, really nice, especially at nighttime, after dinner, during dinner, glass of wine, you know, chilling out. Another jazz record. This is On With It, Brother Jack McDuff. This was recorded in the early 60s but not released till 1971. So it's that early 60s, that early Oregon jazz. So not like crazy funky, but still I really enjoy this. And the lineup has Harold Vick on tenor sax, Eddie Diel, I don't know how you say it, on guitar, and Joe Dukes on drums. Really, really like this. This is, you know, the only pressing of it, I guess. It's on the purple Trident label, I believe, yeah. So yeah, found this. And I told myself I wasn't going to buy too many more Oregon records, but hey, I say a lot of stuff, don't I? A lot of stupid stuff. Love the cover on this. Ooh, another jazz record. Really happy to find this one. One of the ones missing, one of the many Miles Davis records missing from my my collection. This is Milestones. This is an original Canadian 6i in great shape. So really, really happy to find this. That's what the 6i's look like, the Canadian. So mono original pressing, pristine condition. So happy to have this. I was shocked when I came across it. Not going to say too much about the music. I think it's from 58. So just predates the Kind of Blue, but has Cannonball Adderley, John Coltrane, Red Garland, Philly Joe Jones, Paul Chambers. Amazing. This one I might have shown, I'm not sure. I think I definitely posted on Instagram. Eddie Kendrick's Boogie Down. You know, not wow. I think I said this before if I showed it, but not as good as People Hold On, but definitely some good soul on here for cheap. Eddie Kendrick's Boogie Down. I dig it. You're into the soul, check it out. Love this Rasputin Stash. Picked up this. I think the original, the American pressing was a gatefold. It's the Canadian pressing, which is not. Lifeline, Roy Ayers, Ubiquity. Love it. You know, getting to the end of the good Roy Ayers from what I understand, but still some grooving tracks on here. Definitely digging it. I had this on CD, I think, but had never really gotten into it. Hadn't listened to it too much. It's nice to rip it on this new system. Really gets me into it. Ripping through a bunch of soul records here. Otis Redding, The Dock of the Bay on Volt Records, Canadian pressing, which looks different. Was it normally on? Yeah, so this one says, it's not the Volt label, it says this Blue Stacks label, which I've seen before, instead of the Volt. So this, I don't know really what the deal is, but Canadian thing. Woo! Can you dig it? Yeah, Otis Redding, Dock of the Bay, can't go wrong. Still missing a few of his records. I will buy them as they find me. Picked this up, didn't have it. Listened to it a bit. Didn't blow me away. Not like wow, not that I expect a 96K's record. Some good funky. I like the funky stuff. Some of the slower stuff, not really my thing. Crazy gatefold on this. I don't know if you guys have it. Just opens up to this massive picture. This was a birthday gift that I haven't shown. Amazing, really great gift from my brother-in-law. I posted it on my personal Instagram page actually. This is Les Liaisons Dangereuses, bande originale intégrale de Art Blakey's Jazz Messengers avec Barney Willen. This is on Fontana. This is a Canadian original pressing of this on the Blue Fontana label. So yeah, this is recorded in I think late 50s. Yeah, 59. Really, although it says 1960 here, that's when I guess the movie came out. But really, great gift. Appreciate it a lot, and good. Can't go wrong with Art Blakey and the Jazz Messengers from that period, you know. Picked up this Birthday by the New Birth, so it was like their, I don't know, third or fourth release. I think it's from 74, 72. Pretty good, yeah. I need to listen to their records before this. I think the only ones I have are after this. But I dig this. Not like wow, but there's some tracks I really like on here. Recommend checking that out. Hip hop album. Little Brother, Chitlin Circuit 1.5 official mixtape. Don't buy a ton of hip hop, but I love Little Brother, their first and second albums, and this came out in between the two, and some really good tracks, and just not something that I'll probably ever see again pop up in store here. So I grabbed it, but yeah, this is good stuff. But if you listen to their first album, The Listening, and the second album, The Minstrel Show, if you like hip hop, you for sure know about them. If you don't, definitely get on those albums. Little Brother, Ninth Wonder, Fonte, Big Pooh. Added to the James Brown collection. Sex Machine, recorded live at home in Augusta, Georgia, with his bad self. Just classic James Brown that I didn't have and didn't know, on Polydor, Canadian pressing probably. So yeah, happy to add this to the collection. This is an album that's dear to my heart in the sense I used to listen to it with my mom all the time on tape. I don't remember if I showed this one yet. Tracy Chapman, talking about a revolution, Fast Car, Behind the Wall. I remember my mom never wanted to listen to that song. It was too depressing, but man, this woman has an amazing voice. I'm sure you guys know that, but yeah, happy to add that. Added an Isley Brothers that I was missing, a funky Isley Brothers 3+3 featuring That Lady. Don't need to say much about this, very well known. Funky goodness. Same goes with this. Didn't have any Ohio players. I think I have two in this stack somewhere, maybe one still in the box beside me. Ohio players, fire. These 70s Ohio players covers are quite the thing, you know, real sexual. This I picked up, some beat up copy. Well, the copy's okay. Bobby Humphrey flute. Is this Flute In? Yeah, Flute In featuring Billy Harper. I'm pretty sure I showed this already. This was at there's a vinyl cafe, 180 gram cafe, which is a cool spot. They sell records as well, used and new. Grab this support, you know. Another Isaac Hayes, as didn't have. Shaft, don't need to say much about that. Soundtrack, War, Youngblood, You can find this cheap. If I could read this font, I would tell you what song was really good on here. I can't remember the name, but sorry, bear with me. Flying Machine, dope, on side 2. Flying Machine, definitely worth the $3 or $4 I paid for this. What are we at time-wise? 15 minutes. I will rip through a few more. Another, couple dollars. TD Bridgewater. Meh, I need to listen to it some more. But it's definitely on the poppy side. But it's from, I want to say, yeah, 76. Like the cover, that's for sure. I have to listen to the music some more. Same childhood thing, not necessarily this album, but artist, Van Morrison. Definitely someone I would listen to a lot with my father. And this one is A Period of Transition, which was probably 77, late 70s. Now that one, Aretha, classic Aretha album, Aretha Now, didn't have. This is original on the Atlantic Blue and Green, which I love that label. Another kind of childhood thing, Paul Simon. So adding some just like cheap, good records to my collection. These two also just filling in holes. Pink Floyd, The Wall, didn't have this. Really happy to, find a clean copy for not expensive of that. This one I had actually never heard before, this Pink Floyd album. Rock's not my number one thing, so there's definitely some big lack of knowledge of albums I know about, but just haven't, taken the time to listen to. This is Wish You Were Here. Love this, especially on this new system. I sat the other night and just took this all in. It was lovely. This was a cheap find. Tell It Like It Is. Myrna Summers and the Interdenominational Singers, another one on Cotillion, like we're listening to. I will needle drop this one because you can find probably a couple clips online, but it's not an album you're likely to see in the wild. I mean, I came across it, but not, looking for it. I would definitely sparked my curiosity. There's definitely some surface noise on here, but it's gospel, if you didn't figure that out. So there's some more like gospel-y stuff, and there's definitely some more funky stuff with gospel lyrics on here, but definitely dig. I love gospel music, and the lead singer, when she does go at it, she goes hard. Another hip-hop album, Between a Rock and a Hard Place, Artifacts. Bought this because it's an album I didn't really know. I know of it, and I know the two individual rappers, but just not one that I ever, bought or downloaded or anything. So added it, and it is really dope. So if you're into hip hop and you don't know this, Artifacts from '94, I believe, original pressing. Hip hop doesn't show up too often, so sometimes I'm like, I'll buy it, since I might be able to get through this in a decent amount of time. Might just go for it. I think I showed this one, Eddie Kendricks, self-titled. Dig it. Not amazing, not essential, but if you see it for cheap, grab it. Great Soul Sister, Minnie Riperton, Perfect Angel. Amazing cover. and a great album. Not her best, but definitely very enjoyable. Picked up this, which I really wanted when it came out originally on Record Store Day. They since reissued, they put it out again, but this is nothing new. Love Gil Scott-Heron, one of my favorite artists, and really raw renditions of just him on piano singing out his songs at the end of his career. Enjoy this. This I can't remember if I showed, just a reissue that was like really cheap, so don't have an original. Pretty sure I showed this. There's the other Ohio Players I grabbed. Honey, another sexual cover. This, I don't remember if I showed in my last video, probably. Junior's Cookin', the Junior Cook Quintet featuring Blue Mitchell. This is an original on Jazzland, deep groove. So not a record you see every day, and one that could sell for a lot of money. Fucking a lot left here. But yeah, really, I didn't know what I was expecting, but I didn't expect it to be as good as it is. I really enjoy this this record, actually, and it's in quite good shape. A little bit of tape, but it's clear. And this Roy Brooks is on here as well as Blue Mitchell, so yeah, that's a dope record. I need a new inner sleeve here. This was the other gift, Undisputed Truth, along with the Art Blakey record. Picked up another one of theirs recently too. This, I just picked this up, didn't know it. Obviously I know Roy Ayers, but this, amazing. Love this Brother Louie, Virgo Red, Love from the Sun. I mean, the whole album, just great. Classic Roy Ayers from 73. Added another Dr. John to the collection. Dr. John, The Night Tripper. This one is called The Sun, Moon, and Herbs on Atlantic from the, I'm not sure if this is late 60s or early 70s. Probably early 70s. And this one, another soul record I picked up. I'm not sure how I feel about this one completely yet. It's getting dark in here. Paul Kelly, Dirt. Some of the songs I'm like, man, there's definitely some stuff I like or else I wouldn't have bought it. But yeah, if you know this, let me know what you think. I'm curious. It's on Warner Brothers. And then quickly, a few new records I picked up. This one just came out. Have to experience it some more. It's definitely different, which is why I picked it up. Adrian Young presents The Electronic Void, Black Noise, narrated by Jack Watterson. Not what Adrian Young usually sounds like at all. Totally different. Really cool, intense music. Check that out if you think it's going to be your thing. Picked up Maxwell's new album, which came out in the summer. Don't enjoy it as much as the previous in this. It's going to be a trilogy. Same title, capitals in different places. Love the single Lake by the Ocean. Haven't got into the rest of the record as much as I did the last one, which completely blew me away. Really special record. Picked up Bar Brothers. This is the first release and the second one from a few years ago. Sleeping Operator and self-titled. Group from Montreal, folky, bluesy, rock type deal. Really enjoy this. Actually, just getting into them recently. I heard about them, but I hadn't listened to it. But I dig it big time. And then I picked up a reissue of this, Talk Talk, Laughing Stock. Love this record. Don't think I'm ever gonna want to drop the dough for an original. So on this, I saw this reissue. Hopefully, I listened to it so far. It sounds pretty good. I wasn't fully sitting in and just listening to it, but it sounded decent. I just love this music. So if you don't know this album, definitely check it out. But most of you on here should know it. Very highly recommended. That should do it. I think there's probably a few random ones I'm missing somewhere, but 24 minutes. I really apologize for just ripping through these. Definitely not going to be buying as many records. I always say that, but so now I can maybe do some recent spins and just keep up to date with the new pickups. There is a record show this weekend in Montreal, so we'll go there and see if there's anything exceptional that jumps out at me, and just probably pick up a few things. Hope everyone's doing well. If you're still watching at this point, I don't know what you're doing here, but thank you. Take care and peace.